killer plastic giraffe, Scrabble banned in Romania, stuffed animals suspected of being spies, or Barbie now feared. Sit back and relax. Here are the dangerous toys that have been banned from sale around the world. You're a die-hard Barbie fan, and recently you heard about the new Barbie and her dog care set. You love this toy so much that you decide to order one for your niece. Her birthday is coming up. But while you're scrolling through the pages to find the right site, you learn that Barbie and Tanner playsets have been withdrawn from sale. What was it? While searching for the cause, you learn that the set did not last long on the shelves, since the accessories that go with Barbie are considered too dangerous, because they are too small. This means that they can be easily swallowed by small children, which would cause choking. Also, these small accessories have magnets, which could attract in the stomach and cause perforations or deadly intestinal blockages. The thought of hurting your little niece terrifies you, and you quickly change your mind. After all, a nice cake will make her just as happy. It's your little girl's birthday, and she asks you for an oven to complete her dinette. An oven? Of course, you decide to offer her the famous Easy Bacon oven to please her. Unfortunately for your little one, she won't have the oven she was dreaming of, since it doesn't exist since 2007. When you know why, you will thank God, and me too. This Hasbro oven had the particularity to heat up easily, not to reach 20 or 30 degrees to pretend. The oven could reach 350 degrees. That is to cook 3 Thanksgiving turkeys at the same time. In addition, Easy Bake received 249 reports of children getting their hands or fingers stuck in the oven opening. 77 reports of burns, 16 of which were second and third degree burns. The brand also received a report of a severe burn that required the partial amputation of a finger of a 5-year-old girl. Creepy, isn't it? Well, consider yourself lucky that this toy has been removed from sale. Maybe you should introduce her to rollerblading, much safer than a plastic oven. You've probably heard of the Hannah Montana wave. I'm sure you haven't missed any of the episodes and have collected everything that was on sale from the Hannah Montana brand. I bet you have also played the Hannah Montana Popstar game. Did you know that this game is extremely dangerous? When I tell you why, you'll be hallucinating. And indeed, this little face is not as harmless as it looks. No doubt you know that the American Academy of Pediatricians recommends that no toy for children should contain more than 40 parts per million of lead. That's why concerned authorities were alarmed when lab tests revealed that the Hannah Montana Popstar card game contains 75 times more lead than the allowable average. The reason I'm still talking in the present tense is that surprisingly the game has still not been withdrawn from sale. The reason is that the lead is contained in the vinyl of the card and not in the paint, which allowed the manufacturer to leave the product on the market. Does it hurt as much as I do to know that the health of many children in the world is at risk? At least you are warned. You now know what to check before buying a toy, even if it seems harmless. You live a few days with a friend in Brasilia, the capital of Brazil, and to thank him, you decide to offer a toy to his child. You buy the classic toy that all boys like, a plastic gun. But then, at the airport customs, you are arrested for possession of a fake gun. At first, you think it must be a joke or a misunderstanding, but then you learn that in Brazil, a country with one of the highest homicide rates in the world, plastic guns are totally prohibited. And for good reason, this law and force was established not to teach children violence, but also to make them understand that weapons are not toys, but tools to take lives, which is very serious. To play with them would be to trivialize the criminal act. You are a little disappointed that the toy was confiscated and especially disgusted to have to go home empty-handed. But on the other hand, you are relieved that the child did not have to part with the toy out of obligation, which could have been very frustrating. A box of chocolate will also do the trick. You are on a business trip in Romania, and as you have friends all over the world, your French-speaking Romanian friends have kindly offered you to spend a few nights with them. One evening, after having had dinner together, you suggest a little board game night. It's a good thing you never travel without your little miniature Scrabble game. While your enthusiasm is at its peak, you take out the Scrabble and your friends ask you what it is. You don't understand. Who doesn't know Scrabble nowadays? Well, you should know that since the 1980s until a few years ago, it was strictly forbidden for Romanians to play Scrabble. No, you're not dreaming. In fact, it was the Romanian president at the time, Nicolae Ceausescu, who banned it because he thought that this board game was too intellectual and too provocative. He also described the game board and its timeless wooden letters as a subversive evil. Well, in the meantime, the game has been put back on the market. But your friends, it is obvious that they did not have the same childhood as yours. You are a little disappointed that you can't have fun playing Scrabble tonight, but it would have been very boring to play with beginners anyway. You pack up the tray and suggest a little movie on Netflix. Next time, you'll refrain from proposing shots like that, at the risk of being disappointed again. You've probably already heard of Furbies, those little stuffed monsters, so ugly and cute at the same time. You probably also played with them when you were a kid. But did you know that in 1999, in the United States, precisely in the premise of some governmental services like the NSA and the Pentagon, these horrible little pushies were banned? At the same time, you will tell me what those damn stuffed animals would be doing in the NSA or in the Pentagon. That's exactly the same question I asked myself too. Anyway, would you like to know why they were banned? I bet you'd say it's because they are too ugly. Well, not quite. At least we agreed that they are not very pretty to look at, but the reason is quite different. Well, these ugly dolls have been banned in the intelligence services in the United States for the simple reason that in their interior, possible cameras would have been hidden to spy and film secret conversations. And here again, nothing has really been proven. It's all supposition. I told you that the reason will give you a headache, because it is so absurd. Here you are warned, in case one day you decide to go to the Pentagon for one reason or another and you have by chance the idea to carry your Furby with you. Your big sister's baby is spending her vacation with you in France and you notice that she is already starting to grow. You are happy to see his first steps, but you still find that he needs support. It's obvious, this baby needs help to walk. Why not get him a baby walker before he goes home to Canada? You buy him one and give it to your older sister, proud to be the coolest uncle on earth. But your sister doesn't seem so happy to see the gift arrive. She informs you, very embarrassed, that you will have to return the walker to the store. You are surprised to hear this and ask her what the reason is. That's when she tells you that in Canada, baby walkers, jopalas, and similar toys have been strictly prohibited from sales since 2004. An American study analyzed the accidents of these products with wheels that allow young children who do not yet know how to walk well to benefit from support in their first movements. It deduced that they were too dangerous. The study followed 15-month-old babies who were treated in emergency rooms after accidents with their walkers between 1990 and 2014. A total of 230,676 cases were identified, an alarming number for pediatricians. The children were mainly affected in the head and neck, very fragile areas for children at that age, after falling downstairs. In Canada, baby walkers and jopalas have been banned for the main reason that they accelerate the baby's speed of movement and thus make it more difficult for parents to intervene. Does this horrify you? No wonder. You have no desire to hurt your little nephew. In fact, you quickly changed your mind and decided to buy him a playpen instead, as recommended by the European Association for Child Safety and ANAC, a consumer advocacy group. You have been warned. Do good deeds and inform your friends and family. Your best friend has given birth to a wonderful baby boy, and you are the happiest of godmothers. You decide to start spoiling your little one right away and buy him the famous Sophie the giraffe that everyone buys for newborns. But did you know that by doing this you were putting the baby in danger? What does that have to do with anything? Well, I tell you, a few years ago, the French association UFC Choisier, or what to choose in English, accused the most famous plastic giraffe of containing traces of carcinogenic compound, nitrosamines. This substance is naturally present in food and harmless at low exposure, but as babies tend to chew their favorite toy all day long, they are strongly exposed to this substance. It is true that in the meantime, the Savoyard manufacturer of the famous First Age toy swept away the accusation by affirming that Sophie had been manufactured in the strict respect of the European and world standards. He added that all the analysis reports, without exception, attest to this and prove that there is no danger for babies. Now you just have to choose your side. Are you reluctant? Why don't you go for a baby walker instead? Oh no, I forgot, it was said that baby walkers are also harmful to babies. Finally, what to choose? Now you know that a little plastic giraffe represents exactly the same danger for a baby as a bottle of bleach. You love playing with children and their toys still amuse you. That's why you insist that your little nephew play with his famous crocodile dentist. If I had to give you one piece of advice, I would say don't play it. On the surface, the game looks harmless and very fun. It consists of pressing on the teeth of the crocodile in turn, and when you press on the tooth that hurts, the dentist bites you. So far, so good. But if your little nephew is a real rascal and loves to take things to the extreme, he'll suggest putting razor blades, thumbtacks, or nails on your teeth just so you can feel the bite. The thought of getting a nail in your finger makes you cringe. You think that this game should be taken off the market as a matter of urgency. Then you change your mind completely and prefer to go back to the boring adults who talk about horse races and oil price inflation. Culture is also good. So, what do you think of these dangerous toys? Which one do you find most dangerous? Tell us what you think in the comments. Also, tell us if you had a chance to play with any of these toys. And if you liked this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications and not miss any of our upcoming content.